favorite best friend duo, Love Loud. I am the loud to this duo, Miss Simone, aka Monie, and I am here with my bestie.
I am the quiet of the duo.
Sometimes quiet,
Many times quiet.
because I can be quiet too.
Yeah. I am Unique Love, BKA Yaya.
Yes,
Hey, y'all.
Yes, welcome. I'm excited. I mean, I'm always excited, but I'm excited today because this is officially
The 50th.
And I'm the loud one, right? And she's the quiet one. See what just happened right there?
This is a, this is big, This
It is. That means we've been doing this 50 episodes. We did this 50 times.
Yeah, so cool, guys.
Dude, if we did this like more often, we'd probably be at episode 100. But
breaks.
We do every other week. So you see us twice a month.
Yeah.
And then we
I knew I had the bird.
all of it. I mean, bodily functions and happen. Yeah, so I think we would be at episode 100, but every other week, so twice a month, and we take our couple months off to give ourselves a break, recalibrate, and then come back with a new season. But yes, I'm excited. I'm really excited too because I was looking the other day on Instagram. Don't know how I ended up here down a rabbit hole of all the stuff that we did over the years, and I came across our first Instagram live.
You watched the whole thing?
I did not watch the whole thing, but I also came across the video of us promoting our first Instagram.
Oh my God, please don't watch that. I was so pale in that video.
So I was like, oh my gosh, look how far we've come. That was like a really, really happy moment for me. I couldn't stop smiling. I was like, look at us now. Look at us now.
We're getting paper.
Sort of. Right? Not officially getting paid to do this yet, but I'm manifesting. Okay, we're gonna be making money real soon, sooner than y'all think, sooner than we think. Okay, we're gonna be making money, podcasting.
But the good thing about it is this is something that we love. When we first started podcasting, well, before we even started podcasting, I was nervous. First, we didn't even know how we were gonna do it because we were bi-coastal. Like, how could we do it? We're not in person together. Then someone told us, or let us know how we can do it. Then I'm like, I need to come up with a fake name or something because that's like, how am I can't tell my business. That's scary. But now, look at me now. I like being on here.
Yep, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Even when I'm tired, when I'm feeling kind of sick, staying on schedule, making sure that we're able to push out this content, these episodes, because y'all want to hurry. Y'all ready for what Love Loud got to tell you. You feel me? So before we jump into the episode, I want to check in with you, baby. How you doing?
It's the shoulder box for me.
How you doing?
I'm doing okay, except for my stomach hurting. I'm just excited for like all the things that we have lined up this year. I meant aside from Love Loud, like this, because we're best friends in real life. So just like looking forward to the year of trips and exciting things and changes in career and all the things that's going to be happening. I'm just like, wow, this is going to be so cool. Nerve-wracking for some parts,
right?
But just super excited about what life has to offer. And also, randomly, I was thinking about, I forget what day it was, sometime this week. There was a guy from our school years ago. He posted that I think it was November. That it was a challenge to go the whole month without any complaints, like no complaints at all. And I just thought, like, do you know how more beautiful life will be for someone personally to just not complain? Like, it really transition. No, that's not the word. What am I trying to say? It really changed my outlook on life. Like when I get upset with people, it kind of like eats at me, and it can mess up your day, especially the longer you wait. You hold on to it, but if I just change my perspective and don't complain about it, it's just like my outlook, the rest of my day just goes by smoothly. So that was just my random
thought. Changing the outlook of your day.
Yeah.
I always say you can always change the perspective of your day just by doing like a quick reset. just a quick reset. I feel like you can always restart your day at any time of the day. I truly believe that. So if something happened that you ain't cool, but it's messing up with the calibration of what you got going on with your body, you just gotta take a pause, breathe, reset, run it back, and then start fresh. That's what I try to do with my meditation.
Okay.
But then I also realized the other day I had a 33-day streak, and then I went through my whole day, and then I realized I was like, "Oh snap! I didn't meditate today." But then
You don't
I
have an
was
alarm?
no, it wasn't. I do. It tells me in the morning, but I think because my schedule for the day was just changed from what it usually is. So I figured, oh, I'll just do it, in the afternoon. I usually don't do it in the afternoon, so I didn't think about it again. But then I also realized I didn't meditate that day, but I still had a great day that day. So it also reminded me that yes, I would like to meditate daily, but me also doing it more often changed the way that I feel on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
So even though I did mess up my streak and I have to start all over, it still made me feel good to know that I had a smooth day. I had a really, really, really great day. And that made me feel good. So I'm like, even if it's something I'm just consistent on an every other day or not necessarily a day-to-day basis, but something that I'm doing more often than not, I think it will still change my mood on a day-to-day basis because I'm incorporating that into my life. And I also realized too, there's other ways to meditate. Like this morning, I didn't sit and listen to the meditation app. I meditated listening to my gospel music this morning. I also like there's other ways to do that, or like listening to my jazz music and journaling. I just have to make sure for myself I mark it as a day I did meditate today. Like, what is meditation for me?
Yeah.
I did meditative walking. I walked for 30 minutes and noticed things that I didn't notice before. So meditation comes in different forms for those that are interested. You don't just have to sit and zone out for 5 to 10 minutes, but it is helpful. So I like that I was able to realize that I can, do my meditation in different ways, even though it's not daily through the app. So yeah, that was nice for me.
That was your check-in?
Yes, that was my check-in. And there's also one other thing I want to say. If you guys have noticed, I sound a little nasal. I'm in this transition where I'm trying to figure out, is it because the season's getting ready to change and spring is around the corner? Is allergies or am I getting sick? Because I don't like not knowing. So I took my allergy drugs and hopefully it kick in and that'll help me realize like, okay, it's most likely just allergies. But when the allergy medicine don't work, that's how I know, okay, I'm probably getting sick. I need to use some other methods.
Well, hopefully you'll be better soon, friend.
Right, you too, girl, because you talking about your tummy. She got a tummy ache.
We're gonna get through this part, y'all.
Yes, we are.
Okay, take it away.
All right, so since we have checked in, it is now time for me to begin the rundown for this here episode. And those of you that are watching, this is not a LoveLoudd mug. This is actually a gift that my mother gave me for Christmas. So, think about my mama while I'm sipping in my mug.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so let me go ahead and give y'all a rundown. So it is March officially. It is Women's History Month. So this episode is all about being a woman. So first things first, in the icebreaker, we are going to be describing ourselves as a wine.
Because women like wine.
Women like wine. Women and wine. We love to get together with our girls and sip on some wine and gossip a little something, okay? So we're gonna say if we were wine, will we be and why? Then we're gonna head over to Suite 223 where Yaya will be sharing a poem for us to listen to, a little something in our ears. And then heading over to the hot topic segment, we are going to be discussing what it is to be a woman. When do we feel like we became a woman? Where do we get our insight on what it means to be a woman? Are we women? You're gonna have to tune into the hot topic segment to find out. Then heading on over to the dorm story segment, we're going to share some insight from women who share their experiences on how they felt or when they realized they became a woman. And then last but certainly not least, we have our community news segment, where you want to tune in all the way to the end so you don't miss out on anything that LoveLoudd has going on.
Ooh.
Okay? It might be some surprises or some things, you know what I'm saying? So, that is the rundown for today. Okay. Which means we can head on over to where?
I was ready to sing Hot Topic.
And we still transitioning into consistency for the episode. So she's still a little off.
We are gonna head on to our icebreaker segment. Yeah.
Let's go.
Okay, y'all. So let's get into this icebreaker.
Yeah.
If you were listening and you didn't fast forward, you already heard Monie say we are gonna chat with each other about wine. But if we were wines,
what would we be?
So Monie, if you were a wine, what type of wine would you be and why?
Very interesting question. I'm glad you threw that one to me. I had some time to think about this because I wasn't sure exactly, how I would fit into being a glass of wine.
Oh, you probably want to be a whiskey.
Right. Now, let me if I was a drink. But since we are talking about wine, I think that I'd be a Moscato because I'm sweet, I'm bubbly, and it's something that you can, start off with. You could, if you wanted to, mix it with a little something else. But, just to get the party started, go ahead and get yourself a glass of little Moscato.
That's because you're the life of the party everywhere you go.
I am. Thank you. I have heard that many, many a time. So, yeah, we want to get the little
party. I took my time back then.
We want to get the party started. We want to pop a bottle. We're going to pop a bottle of Moscato. Sweet and bubbly. Sweet and bubbly.
Sweet and bubbly.
What about you, darling? What about you?
I would be sparkling rosé.
Okay, sparkling rosé.
Because I am sweet and bubbly. And when I blush and laugh, which I do all the time, I turn pink. So I think it would be perfect for me to be sparkling rosé.
Yeah. Mind you, y'all, there are sparkling Moscatos and then there are just regular Moscatos. I just want to clarify that I can be either one.
It depends on her mood that day.
Right, it depends. I might just be sweet. I might be sweet and bubbly. But yes.
That's it. That's evening icebreaker. Let us know what kind of wine you will be in down in the comments.
Right.
And we're gonna head on over to our next segment, which is
Sweet 223. I had a brain freeze for a second because I wasn't expecting her to throw it to me. She knows what she's talking about.
Okay, let's go.
So we go
to the next.
Go over to the sweet 2, 2, 3. Should have picked Prosecco.
Hey y'all, welcome to our Sweet 223 segment where I'm gonna share a poem with you that I found on my phone because I really left the poem that I was gonna do at home by mistake.
She did. I told y'all this is episode 2. She's still getting it together.
It's
trying to get
my stomach was hurting. And I had to just get out the door because I told Monie I'll be here by a certain time.
You go ahead and blame your tummy. Mm-hmm.
And I left this tea that I wanted to get Monie too, but
I'm like, even if your stomach wasn't hurting, I feel like she still would have forgot something.
Yeah, that's true.
Let's
talk about excuses.
Whatever you're going to say.
Right. Anywho, I'm gonna share a poem. I guess I'll call it Shaking Up. It really doesn't have a title.
Does it have to do with your tummy?
Here we go. Shaking up. Shaking up, yet I feel I'm on solid ground. Head held high, yet it's hanging down. Hands are clammy, can't even grasp grips of my pen. Feeling like I'm losing control of the situation I'm in. One that prior to yesterday, I could bet my last buck that it'll last. But now the enemy is gearing up to point and laugh at what she's deemed as idiocracy. He barely gave anything while I gave the best of me. Was he testing me or barely invested in us? His lips sealed shut. I feel he can't trust me, refusing to open up, let go, be vulnerable. Or at least this is how I see it, until he's secure enough to let me know.
Okay.
Bit hesitation because this is take 2 of this segment. But
I
yeah,
wasn't sure to snap, clap, wait, because you had another piece to say.
no, that's it. Thanks for listening.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing. Initially, when you started the piece, the first thing that I thought about was like being a soda bottle and being shook up like at the soda bottle and knowing that when you immediately release that, like it would explode everywhere. So like relating that to emotions and then like realizing you have to let that settle before you pop the top. Because that could be a way of you releasing something that you're not ready to release or saying something that you don't need to say, um, allowing your anger to have the best of you before allowing your emotions to settle. So that's what it made me think about, because I can sense within that there's a conversation that needs to be had.
Yes.
But when you shake it up, you might want to reevaluate how you want to approach the conversation. Yeah. But go ahead, tell the people about your inspo.
So for a person like me, it's hard to wait because when those emotions are going on, I want to spill them all out. But it makes sense to wait and make sure that I rationalize my thoughts, my feelings, my emotions, and pocket them so that it's not spewing all over the place like vomit, and then it's a dirty cleanup that nobody wants to clean up. Um, is for me and for some people on Twitter, because I saw some tweets, you can't move forward without having a conversation. And in some situations, a lot of people ghost because they don't want to have those conversations because they see it as confrontation. But if you really love somebody, whether that's your friend, your boo thing, your parent, whoever it is, we're not perfect. There are going to be some times where we disagree. There are going to be some times where we get on each other's nerves, etc. But there's only so much stuff that you can sweep under a rug before it's like a mountain of stuff, and you get shaken up like a soda bottle, and then stuff start exploding. And you're like, where is coming from? It's because you ain't talked to me about that last situation that was going on. We need to talk. We need to communicate. Yeah, what's going on? So then possibly we won't break that nerve again, or we know how to handle it moving forward. So yeah, I wrote a poem just to let out how I was feeling about a certain situation because I was just like a little hurt. So it helped me to, well, Simone told me to write, and that's what came from me writing how I was feeling in that moment.
That makes sense. I used to be like that. I used to be like, no, I'm angry, I'm upset, you're gonna hear what I got to say. Until I got a little older and matured and realized that, first of all, everything that I want to say don't need to be said. That's the first thing. The second thing is, let me make sure I'm ready to talk. Like, I might feel like I'm ready, but let me reevaluate exactly what I plan on saying before I just spur out whatever I say. Because in the end, I have hurt many feelings that way, and not wanting to be intentional with hurt anyone's feelings, because my feelings were hurt, and I just wanted to say what I needed to say when I wanted to say.
Right.
So,
selfish.
Right. Definitely was selfish. I used to be a very selfish person. But growing and understanding that, everything ain't always about me. Everything is not always about me. So coming to the conclusion that I have to be able to understand what I want to say, and also understand that the person that I'm relaying what I want to say to, they may not take it the way I expect. We talk about expectations on the last episode. I can't set my expectation too high for them to understand what I'm saying. They might need time to process, and then we might have to have another conversation. But the conversation, it's got to get started. You know what I'm saying? It's got to start at some point. You can't just sweep things under the rug, right? Because it starts to pile up, and you end up tripping over. I'm just saying, you keep sweeping under the rug a little long. What was that? The shit that you put under the rug.
Yeah. And then it becomes a point where it's too much stuff to talk about. And then somebody gets annoyed because the conversation is lasting too long. Well, it's better to talk about things as they're going along, opposed to somebody you're waiting forever, because then you start holding those emotions in too. Yeah. And then every little thing that person does starts to irk you because you never resolved it. So yeah. Exactly. Maybe we need to have a topic about this.
Yes, we should. We should. About Was it conflict resolution or ways to
That's
communicate? Something
all
like
of
that.
it.
Yeah. Communication.
So write that down.
Boom, episode coming your way.
Well, thanks for listening to my poem.
Yes, and thank you so much for sharing. Appreciate it. And open up this dialogue on communication. And now, ma'am, since you were so eager earlier, you can let the people know where we are heading to now.
Hot topics.
Sure, what your tummy aching? Or
No, it's like it's so messed up right now, y'all. But thanks for. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be here.
Just happy to be here. Let's go ahead and go on over.
Hey y'all. Okay, so we're gonna get into this topic. I hate that I just feel like this. So we're gonna get into this topic.
Get into it.
I don't even talk with my hands like that, but it's kind of funny. Okay, so our topic today is all about womanhood. Not even womanhood, but what it means to be a woman.
Yes.
I mean, I'm sure Webster has a definition of what it means, but we're talking about what it means for us, and maybe you can relate. So let's jump into these questions.
Whoop, whoop.
The first question, of course, before we talk about our experiences, is what does it mean to be a woman? So, without looking at Webster's dictionary, can you tell me what a woman is, Monie, or what it means to be a woman?
For me, being a woman is, I guess, just the ultimate feminine energy, the what I want to nurturing. What other word can I think of? Feminine, nurturing. I don't know. I guess it's hard to say, but from my own perspective, without trying to think too hard, I'm thinking like being just, I guess it all ties into feminine energy, but just being soft and thoughtful and I don't know, I don't know, it's really hard to say. And I'm a woman. I promise I am a woman, but just to define what it means to be a woman to me, it's honestly hard to say. Like I literally can only think of like being feminine and being nurturing, like a mother would be. Like that's literally the only two things that come to mind immediately as far as like what it means to be a woman.
Okay.
That's okay. I don't know.
Okay, so when I think of a woman, I think of somebody who is, excuse me, well, the first thing that came to mind was estrogen.
Estrogen,
Uterus. But even when you take the uterus away, that person is still a woman. So, and when you like some women have more testosterone than other women. But I think about somebody who is strong, somebody who is able to balance things, somebody who is able to take care of things, support people, who is nurturing. The same way that you said, women are thought to be caring of other people and supportive of other people. Not maybe this don't fit every single woman, but just in the total scope of what a woman means. That's what I think of.
But then in some aspect, it also seems like couldn't those things also describe a man? Like, is it impossible for a man to nurture and to care?
No, but I'm talking about women.
I know, but I'm thinking like in defining what a woman is, do the lines cross into what a man is and what a woman is?
Well, technically, a woman is the woe of a man.
Right.
So, I mean, this is why we say when we think about a woman, what it means.
Mm-hmm.
So there's because there are crossovers, but that's a topic that we're not getting into right now. Regarding like this person of this gender can qualify for this or whatever situation, but when I think of a woman, those are the characteristics that stand out. I can't say a woman is somebody with beautiful, long, luxurious eyelashes and long hair and get her nails done with a big booty and boobs, because not everybody got big booty boobs and all those other things. But when I think of the women that have been in my life, pretty much across the board, they fit those qualities that I said: caring, nurturing, basically looking out for another person, just like you said, what you would think a mother would be for people, even if you don't have a child. It's just like this instinct to
Yeah.
care and just to be there for somebody else. I don't know, it's just the woman in me.
Yeah, I also think vulnerable too. I think when it comes to being a woman in most situations, I feel like we're more susceptible to being vulnerable.
And emotional,
Yeah. Vulnerable, emotional,
sexy.
femininity, soft. What was the other word I used? And nurture. Nurture. That's what I think of.
So where did you learn the values of what it means to be a woman, or what makes up a woman?
I would have to say a combination of the women in my life, the things that I saw on TV, or the things that I read. Because growing up, I read a lot of Cosmo. I read a lot of
Cosmo?
Cosmopolitan magazine.
A lot of people listening may not know.
Cosmo. I don't know. I'm not as into magazines as I was when I was younger, but I definitely read a lot of Cosmo magazines. Different things that I would see on TV and what women would do and how they would act and respond to certain things, and the women that I grew up around, especially when it came to how to take care of yourself and certain things a woman should and should not do. I'll never forget growing up, my great grandmother used to always tell me I should not be whistling. When women don't whistle. But from when she was growing up compared to me living in the 20th century, it just, well, growing up in the 20th century, it just wasn't, that wasn't a thing. I always thought it was odd, but that's like one of the things that I learned. And I also know my great grandmother's era, like women didn't wear pants. Like over time, like that changed. Like women wore dresses.
Right.
I never saw my great grandmother wear a pair of pants. I cannot think of a day I ever saw that. So just like thinking over time, like how what it means to be a woman has changed over time, and what that looks like, even from women being told that, a woman is meant to stay home and take care of the house and take care of the children while the man goes out to work. That has also changed over time. So just based off the things that I've learned and the things that I've been able to decipher, and just determine for myself how I want to live as a woman. I'm the type of woman, I like to get my hair done, get my nails done, smell good, treat myself to what I would consider luxury from time to time, whether that's going to get a massage or a facial or something of that nature. And as a woman, I like to shave. I like to keep it naked in certain areas, because I don't like having hair under my arm.
But is that something that you learned that women do, or is that something that you decided to do by yourself?
Well, once I started growing hair under my arms, I was taught that I should be shaving under my arms. But it did get to a point where I didn't shave as often as I was supposed to, and I didn't like how I felt having hair under my arms. So I continued to shave under my arms or shave my legs. I don't like them feeling scruffy. Like, it's just certain things that work for some women that don't work for other women. Like when it comes to makeup or being natural and not wearing wigs or wearing weaves, and just, you know so yeah, from the women that I grew up around, from the things that I've read, and from the things that I've seen on TV, helped me to establish what I would consider as far as like, this is what women do. Get my feet done. Sitting and talking and chilling with my friends and going to get mimosas for brunch.
Okay. Y'all, if y'all hear me take a deep breath, it's not because of anything. It's like my stomach is really messed up right now. So I'm trying to push through. My stomach is killing me. So although if I don't laugh, I want to laugh, but I'm like, that's gonna mess up my stomach. So I'm trying to. Ooh, child. Okay, so for me, the values of womanhood I learned from my mom, my cheerleading coaches, teachers at school, TV shows, just like everything that I was able to be around. Basically, I can't just say it's only this one thing because I soaked it all in, whether it was intentionally soaking it in or not on purpose, you know. So for me, one thing that's coming to my mind right now is I couldn't go outside without having my earrings on.
Mm.
My mom would always like if she saw me without my earrings on, she would say something and it kind of like make me feel bad for forgetting my earrings. Like girls always make sure they have their earrings on. Um Also like dressing cute, like dressing with the skirts and making sure your hair is done and making sure that you like wear certain things going along with the jewelry is what I learned, not just from my mom, but the women at church too. And the women at church may have not said anything, but I saw them dressed a certain way. So I know I had to have my stockings on. I always aspired and then I transitioned to when I did become a woman or a young woman to wearing the high heels with the skirts and making sure that everything looked precise and looked really nice. Just the way that you carry yourself, learning to be softer than a man, not speaking as loud as the boys did, not playing as rough. That goes back to school. In is it elementary school? I'm thinking third grade, like
Yeah.
that area of school where in my elementary school the boys played in a certain part of the playground and the girls played in a certain part of the playground. And I like to think that when I was younger, I used to be like a little tomboy, so there was like this hole in the gate and I would like slither through the hole to get inside and chase this little boy around. I must have had a crush on him. I don't remember. I don't know if I had a crush on him or not. But I used to sneak into that little hole and then like run around and chase him because I wanted to play like with everybody. Mind you, like at home, there are boys and girl cousins that I play with. Why do I have to be segregated playing with the girls and playing jump rope and certain things while boys get to play football? I want to play football too. I want to get scruffed up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Also like makeup, the easy bake oven, those are the
Have one of
softer
those.
things that I played with as a girl. Meanwhile, my brother had basketballs and footballs, like race cars. Those things, they're little minute things, but it taught me femininity versus masculine. Um, Also at school, like in high school, being divided from the boys and then having a girls group and learning how to drink tea and do certain things that women would do. And then the guys, I don't know what they learned in their groups, but we were even separated in that way. Learning that like basically being taught like boys gonna do this and say that and da, da, da,
Right.
and you're a lady, keep it classy. So just like women sit with class and with grace. We hold ourselves a certain way. We speak a certain way. A woman don't curse. If you curse, that means that you don't have a great vocabulary. So now, like my friends don't understand. Why can't I'm just playing? I'm just saying the B word, and I'm like, no, don't say that to me. But it's because when I grew up, I learned that that's weak vocabulary, and women don't do that. Um, just like a lot of things like that. And then I talked about TV. So just seeing the mom be the organizer of the home, the mom gathering the kids together. Because in my home there was only a mom, but on the Bill Cosby show, on the Proud Family, like on Rugrats, they had two parents. So I saw the mommy of the twins on Rugrats. She was always the one collecting the kids and getting the baby bag together and stuff like that. And then
You know what's crazy? I don't recall ever seeing a show where there was just a mom in the house. If you could think, I can't think one off the top of my head. Like,
I can't
I remember
either.
when it was just a dad.
Because you got That's So Raven, there was a mom and a dad. Tyene only had a few episodes, so I can't really say that one.
1-on-1, it was just the dad, but I can't think of it. It probably is. If y'all can think, pull it and put it in the comment. But I can't, off the top of my head, can't think of any shows that was just a mom. I'm used to seeing like a mom and a dad always being in the house.
Yeah,
Majority of the time.
yeah, for the children wise, because I'm thinking about the game, but he was a grown man at that point. But yeah, like those different shows, seeing the mom actually sit down and organize the bills, even when talking to my great grandmom and learning that when the man comes home, he gives the wife the bill, his check, and she takes care of the bills, she takes care of the children, like all these things. Even seeing it, just in life, like the woman was the one who brought home the groceries and like just did everything to make up the home while it seemed like while watching the dad or the grandpa, great grandpa was just chilling. And being catered to. So that Let Me Cater to You by Beyonce and Destiny's Child and all. I said Beyonce and Destiny's Child. By Destiny's Child. Um I look forward to having a partner and wanted to do that stuff with my man and like just giving to him. A woman gives, a woman supports, a woman that's my baby. Like you a grown man, but you my baby. Like I gotta take care of you. Yeah. Oh, that's what a woman does. That's what I witnessed.
Yep, absolutely. And my brain keeps going back to try to think of a show where there was just a mom in the house.
It'll come to you.
It'll probably come to me later.
At the end of this episode,
right.
when we start
I'm gonna see if it. I'm gonna see if it regulates. We might even have to ask on Instagram, but like I can't think of any shows.
Can you think of when you first felt like you were a woman?
I don't know necessarily if I felt like a woman, but I can say when I feel like I started to become a woman.
Okay.
I would have to say two instances. One, when I first started my period, and then when I was forced to start learning how to do my own hair. I would have to say with feeling as if I was becoming a woman at that period when I was a really young age. I was only 12. But it was just knowing and understanding like what my body was going through as far as that process, and then also knowing like you can get pregnant now. And learning to be more responsible around like my body and making sure like my hygiene. I had to take care of my body differently as far as like the hygiene and the things that I did. I think also too, I can also add when I realized, or when my mother realized, and she let me know that it was time to stop wearing t-shirts and I needed to start actually wearing a bra. Because the girls were starting to get a little perky. I will never forget. I was getting ready to walk out of the house. My mother looked at me. We're on the way to school. My mom said, "Oh my gosh." She's like, "Oh, you can't wear that." And I was like, "What is going on? Like, this is the uniform I wear every day." But she could see through my t-shirt that I needed a little bit. Right, I needed a little bit more now. I think I was like third or fourth grade. But she realized it might have been younger, I don't know. But she realized it was time for me to go ahead and get that bra. It was time to t-shirts were not for me anymore. And then when it came to my hair, mind you, I only started doing my hair because it was around the time I was getting in trouble a lot. And my mom was like, "Oh, well, you want to go live with your father? Well, you can't go live with your father if you don't know how to do your hair." She made me do my hair over and over and over until I properly, and back when bumps were a thing, until I until I properly went straightened my hair from here to here and made sure that my hair was good to go. I was like not putting swoop my hair into a ponytail real quick. This is before I started wearing wigs. Like she wanted to make sure, even while being upset with me, she wanted to make sure that when I walked out of the house, whether you with me or not, you are going to look presentable. So I'm not gonna let you leave here without knowing how to do this thing. Same thing when it came to makeup. She introduced me to what what makeup is and how to put it on properly. Even though now my mom watches me, she's like, "You like it when you do your makeup, you like you're painting your face." Even though when I first started doing it, she was teaching me, but I'm like, now I teach my mom some things and some different products that she can use.
But it's also advanced.
Right.
The way that we changed. Makeup, yeah, it's changed. So that's relatable.
Yeah. So just thinking about those things from hair to hygiene, understanding that my body is changing. So I am becoming more of a woman, being able to bear children now. Those were instances where I started to realize like, oh, so I'm becoming a woman. Now, as far as the instance of me feeling like, oh, I'm a woman now, I would have to say when I had my first place. Like I wasn't living with my parents. I was literally on my own, making sure I had to pay my rent and my bill. Like I'm an adult. I'm a woman. I can come and go as I please. I I have responsibilities that I've never had before. I had to make sure I had to upkeep on my car. I had to, get groceries for myself. Like parents helped me settle in, but at the end of the day, once they left, it was just me. So I think at that moment, how old was I? 20, I want to say 22, 23, around that time. That's when I officially felt like, oh no, I'm a woman now. Like it's a matter of me understanding how to take care of myself without my parents. Of course, I have to call them from time to time because I'm still growing and learning and understanding how to live on my own. But having my first apartment and being on my own really taught me, like, all right, I'm a woman. How am I going to take care of myself by myself?
Thanks for sharing, bud.
Thank you. Now it's your turn, boo.
Okay. Um, I can think of instances that I felt like, is this it? It's gonna happen now. This must be it. This is what they say, but those were just like one offs. So I've had the experience, which was the most uncomfortable experience. And this is Yaya speaking now if you're just listening, because it kind of compares to what Simone shared. I remember walking down the hallway at my mom's job because I used to always go to her job after school. And her coworker was like, "Oh, she got the little doorbells," talking about my boobs. And they were like poking through, like a little nipple getting poking out, but I didn't have breast yet, and it just made me feel so uncomfortable. So that happened, and catching my period, that happened. But I was a kid. Like I still felt like I'm a kid. And then, in some cultures they have quinceañeras, and then in my culture they have the sweet 16. So I thought, okay, maybe after my sweet 16, I'm gonna be a grown woman, but I still have to answer to my mom. I still, like I'm still a child. So then I would say going off to college for undergrad, I felt like I finally learned some independence. But anytime something happened, I gotta call my mom. Right. I gotta ask my mom. Before I spend this $5, I need to call my mom. Or before I let someone touch my hair, I need to call my mom. Like these are little examples, but like everything, even though now sometimes I call my mom, I felt like still like I'm depending on my mom to be able to do stuff. I got my first credit card. That did not make me feel like a woman. Like all these marks, like having sex for the first time did not make me feel like a woman. Like these things that we talk about that you lose your child and become a woman did not do that for me. Mm-hmm. What was a major moment in my life, and it's two, that made me feel like a woman was when I got into grad school. It was my third year and I was ready to go. So I thought, like, my classes, I registered for my classes, my loans are in place, like it's time to go. It's like now 2 weeks before classes start, and I got something in the mail saying that I owed the school 4,000 something $100 for my last semester at school. And I'm like, wait, what? This is a mistake. Like my loans and everything is in place, and they're like, no, you don't qualify because you're not a full time student this semester. You're only taking whatever amount of classes that I was taking didn't qualify. And I was like, are you serious? And I just started like panicking, and I reached out to family members. I even reached out to my father, who, if you know, I don't communicate with my father like that. I don't really ask. It takes a lot for me to ask people for anything. Like I don't even know the last time I asked anybody just to borrow $1. Like I don't ask people for stuff. I don't know where I learned that from. It's another episode, but I just don't. And I was just like panicking. Like I asked my brother. He couldn't help me because he was in school too. He just paid off his. Asked my mother. She was like she'll try. And just like, oh my god, like I can't not finish school. I came this long. I came through this far, and I was just like looking at my bank account, and I literally had almost just enough to pay. And you're smiling, but I was so hurt, bro. I was like, you know how much it took me to save this 4,000, whatever I had in my bank account, and that was my money. Like I was looking forward to graduating and just getting $2,000 more so I could get my first apartment. It ate me, but that made me feel like a woman because when people say you ain't grown until you pay bills. You ain't grown till da da da. And that's another thing that people say, but I really felt like I'm on my own here. Like I'm asking people for help. Nobody can help me. I even applied for a loan. The loan people can't help me. Like what the heck? I've reached out to people I've never asked for help for anything, and they can't help me. And I have to fend for myself here. And it put me in a situation where I literally felt like, all right, this is what it means to be grown, to handle your own. You can't depend on mommy anymore. Um, and the second can't depend on mommy anymore was my first car. My mom bought that for me as a gift, and I'm driving around. I was enjoying that car, but then every month there was something going on with the car, and I was like paying like 700 here, 500 here, like every other week, or excuse me, every month, which is why my 4,000 was on 4,000. But
Right.
like it was just always something with that little car. So I got to a point where I'm like, I need to get my own, like a new car. I don't want no used car. I need a brand new car. So I don't have to deal with this headache because the car my mom got me, I'm grateful for it. It was a used car. So I don't know if that person got oil change when they were supposed to, like got, kept it up to date and took care of it and loved it like I would love it. So now I'm dealing with somebody else's crap. Then I found out that me getting a car means that it has to go under my name because it's going under my credit, which means then I have to get my own insurance. And I wasn't paying for nothing for that car except for my little oil changes and my gas. And I thought that was a lot. But then when I had to pay for everything, the car payment, the gas, the oil changes,
The tires,
the tire. Every time I hit a pothole, I think about how much my tires cost. Like, bro, I spent so much on these new tires, and this pothole better not mess it up. But anyway, just like all the things, and then insurance too.
Yeah.
And then having to shop around for my insurance. Oh yeah, I'm a grown woman. I'm a woman now. I got expenses. I had to fend for myself. I had to look for my own car by myself. I had to. I remember when the dealership laughed at me because they were like, "Oh, you can put money down if you want to on the car," and I was like, "Oh, I could put $200." They kind of snickered like, "That ain't nothing." And I was like, "That was something." Like, can I put 200? All right, what about 500,000? No, just you can just make your monthly payments, and it's okay. But yeah, just like basically for me, financial. It wasn't about how my body grew because I was only in fifth grade, I think sixth grade when I started to blossom, and my body grew very fast to the point where I remember, and I'll never forget, I was trying to get on a bus, because my school had a different schedule than public school. So when they were out, my school was still in. I was trying to get on the bus with my uniform, give the bus driver my bus card. He was like really not wanting me to get on the bus, thinking that I was a grown woman acting as a kid trying to use the student bus ticket. And like I was only maybe 12 years old, but I was fully blossomed. And so that, like, those things that people think when you grow this certain body, when you catch this, when you do these situation, like grown up things, you'll feel like a woman. But for me, it was more of a financial, you on your own kind of situation that made me feel like a woman.
Between being a young woman and a grown ass woman.
For real.
With the bills and baby. Who had to pay for everything on my own? Like, the struggle was real, especially after I graduated and I needed to find a job and I wasn't making enough money, so I had to have 2-3 jobs.
Yeah.
Grown ass woman.
Yeah. So talking about the man on the bus, who actually dictates when you're a woman and if you're not a woman?
Who dictates? Why is anybody dictating when I'm a woman? Is the question.
Like does is it when like you turn a certain age and you can't go to the pediatrician anymore? So now you're a woman because you got to go to a.
I don't know when I'm out of my parents. I can't get my parents insurance no more.
That was different because for some people that was I think 18 or something, but for us it was when we finished undergrad.
Yeah,
no, it was
25.
supposed to be when you finish school, and then Obama changed it to 25.
Yeah, it was 25. So I had to head.
I got a job right on the time.
Hey, you turn 25. Make sure you get your insurance.
Yep.
You about to be off.
Yep.
That's why I had to pay for my own braces. Anyway, who dictates? I don't know. I want to say
the U.S. government,
right? But who? I mean, our parents. I mean, but what? I mean, I guess it also depends on what they would consider you being a woman, and when you're consider yourself grown, because you can argue with your parents back and forth. Oh, you think you grown? I'm over 18. I'm not grown yet. You think you grown? You think you know everything? You don't know that. Keep living.
Right. I want to say it's it's a mix of everything because you have the government that dictates when you are old enough to do certain things.
Right.
Like you can't smoke, drink, drive,
rent a car,
all these things until you're a certain age. Then you have your cultures too. Everybody's different culture says this person is um a woman or man at this certain age or when this specific event happens in your life. But then also within those cultures, you have your own family. So we both black, but your family may have said when Monie gets her first apartment, that's when she's a woman. My family could have said when Yaya gets her period, that's when she's a woman.
right?
Some people's families might say, okay, I'm kicking my kid out when you turn 18, you on your own. Some people might say, you staying in this house or you can't stay in this house until you're married. Like it's hard to really say what dictates that.
Right. It really is really hard. I'm still like trying to think like, but you're right. With a combination of all those things, like they all combined can dictate like when you are considered to be a woman slash an adult. Ooh, I'm having flashbacks of being taken off my parents' insurance. Give me a moment. Glad I'm covered well now, but still. That hurt me back in the day.
What hurt you?
Having to find my own health insurance after being taken off my parents. That was some good health insurance.
Bruh.
I was being taken pretty good care of.
Because you were a kid, or was it the years or whatever? Because when I first got my insurance, I was like, what the heck is this? Like, I remember going to a hospital as a kid with my mom and my copay being, I think, $15 or something. It's something to laugh at right now because
like what? 45.
My copay right now for the PCP is I think $15. Specialist is $40. The hospital last year I went to the hospital twice. I had to pay $500, $250 each for the emergency room. Right now the emergency room I think is like $300, and then a hospital visit used to be like $150 to like stay at the hospital. Now it's 10% of whatever it costs to go. I'm like, why y'all change to a percentage? Like this is just too much. Like when I was young, my mom, I got my braces paid, I got my tonsils removed,
right.
I got like so much stuff done under the insurance. It's like this is ridiculous.
I be wondering too, like when you have a family, do you get better insurance? Like having children?
I don't know.
I'm very curious to know.
Or is it better insurance for the child?
Right. Very interesting question.
If you work for an insurance company, please message us. We would like to have you on our podcast.
Talk about insurance.
Yes.
Health insurance.
All right. Next question. I'm not sure if I wanna.
Wow, what's going on? What is it, girl? What is it? Look at.
Well, the question is, have you ever experienced or witnessed gender discrimination?
Have I? I would say yes.
What did you witness? Girl?
I would say yes.
What's your experience?
I mean, I experienced it in work. It made it seem as if the man would do a better job.
Oh, I know what you're gonna say. Share it. You want to share?
No, I did lose a position once to a man who overstepped. I should have been more vocal in regards to like what my job was at the time. In a way, I allowed it to happen, but at the same time, I couldn't understand if this is my position. Why is no one telling this man to stop doing my job? Like, he's overstepping. He's overstepping, and he did it several times to the point where I was just like, you know what, forget it. If y'all want him to do the job, go ahead, let him do the job. But clearly, it's supposed to be my job.
Yeah,
I'm capable of doing it. I am doing it. But y'all must like the way that he do it better. I don't know what it was. Like I was hired,
and then you ended up losing the position because he was overstepping. That's messed up.
So it's just like what?
Yeah,
may not be gender discrimination because I could have said something, but at the same time, it was just like why I felt like no one had my back in that situation. Like, well, he's doing a better job, so let's go ahead. I don't know of any situations where a man got paid more than me or anything like that, but I do feel like in that instant, I feel like I was being discriminated against because it made it seem as if I wasn't capable of doing the job, even though I'm doing the exact same things.
Yeah,
I'm literally doing the exact same things. So how is it? And then my position got switched to something else, and I was going to be making less money from the position that I had initially. So I was just like, nah.
That's messed up. That is discrimination. Yeah, I'm thinking of when I was like a little tot. When I was growing up, I had a brother that's 6 years older than me, and I had cousins that were around my age and in between us too. And some things that just come off the top of my brain that I think my parents and other grown-ups around us did it to the point that they didn't know that they were doing it, but it was being done. So one example is I had to go inside the house when the street lights came on, but the boys didn't. They got to stay outside and play football in the street. Um, just like certain other things that I witnessed was my I said my boyfriend. I ain't had no boyfriend. My brother got to have girlfriends and date and do certain things or whatever. Hang out with friends and go do things. I could not. I couldn't have a boyfriend. I remember my mom telling me, you know, you can't have no boyfriend, right? And so then that made me like high. Like when I got my first little boyfriend, I didn't tell her. She found out, and she was like, "Oh, you dating such and such little brother?" And that was it. Like that's all that she ever said. But I wasn't allowed to. But it's like unfair. Like my brother can have a girlfriend. Why can't I have a boyfriend? As far as like hanging out with friends, I really didn't get to do that. My hanging out with friends was spending the night at a cheerleader's house. My mom was the coach, so she knew them. And then even getting a job, like my friends were able to do like summer jobs and like different programs where they can get a job. My brother had a job. I couldn't have a job. And that ended up, I think this is what I blame it on. When I got older, trying to get a little job at Publix and, you know, at the mall, my experience, I would say I didn't have any experience. My experience was my internships at MetLife and freaking Audible, these top tier jobs. Like, girl, go get you another job in corporate America. Do what you doing at Publix. Like, I wasn't able to do those things. So just those things of what basically girls can't do and what boys could do um, was kind of like that's some kind of discrimination in that way.
Yeah, I feel you on that. Grew up in a house full of all girls, no brothers.
Dang. So a lot of estrogen.
So very much so. House full of women, no brothers.
Are there beauty standards you felt you had to adhere to in order to be a woman? Can I go first?
Sure, go ahead.
All right. I felt like I wasn't woman enough when I was growing up because I had a cousin that was a girl cousin, maybe 4 years older than me, and then another one that was 7 years older than me. And they would tell me certain things that I would look forward to, like my period, being able to shave, just certain things that a girl would go through in transitioning. And there were like women at my church that I saw like as beautiful, and they had like hair on their legs, and they would talk about shaving and everything. I'm sticking to the hair on your legs for a certain reason because when I got to middle school and then my peers started talking about being able to shave. I look at my legs now and there's hair there, but you could barely see it. Like I never got to experience shaving my leg, and then when I did, it was like I'm not really shaving nothing, but I just wanted to know what it felt like to like have a razor graze my legs, like like just see what it felt like. Yeah, that's what comes to my mind. Like I just look forward to that because as a kid, I had the little makeup kit. I had like the hair accessories. Like I had like this little fake beauty salon. I had the little poster on my wall. Like I had like the most things that would be the most girliest things, but body wise, aside from puberty, well that is puberty. Aside from like my body growing a certain way, what wasn't growing was the hair. And I was like, why am I not getting hair on my legs? I want to shave too.
Sidebar, I don't think it was the first time I shaved my leg, but I'll never forget the first time I fucked up shaving my legs.
Cut yourself?
I sure did. I still got a scar from it. I was in the bathroom, something fell, and it caught my attention. So when I turned my head, I also like
pulled the razor
because something fell. So I'm like, oh, and I was like, oh, I was bleeding. And mind you, I was doing it in the morning before I had to go to school. So I had to put a Band-Aid on my leg. I still have, it was a little gash. Like, it wasn't like a cut. Like I had, because
girl, That was a good razor.
It was a good razor. It was a good razor. But anywho, back to the thing, and not my tangent.
Dang, I had a
What was the
second thing I can't
question?
remember. Beauty standards.
Beauty standards for me. It had to be nails. And I wasn't allowed to get my nails done until I was 16. I was not. And I remember the first time I had to experience somewhat of what my nails was, or getting my nails done, was my mom was like, "You can't get your nails, but we're gonna get these press-ons. We're gonna get you some press-ons for your 8th grade graduation."
Me and Raven used to put stickers. You know the little label, like melon labels? We used to color them and put them on our fingers and like those for nails. Because you guys want to be able to do that.
But I'm like, it just made me feel like so official, like to be able to go and like get my nails done. I'm like, I'm a woman. I'm a young woman.
Mhm.
Look at me with my nails done. So 16th birthday, what did I go do? I immediately went to go get my nails done. It was French tips. Got my French tip nails done. Because for me, it wasn't makeup. Lashes weren't a thing back then. It was the first thing for me was just my nails. I really, really wanted to get my feet. That was easy. Like I've been getting my feet done.
Yeah.
Feet was nothing. It was actually like getting the acrylic nails.
Yeah.
16. Nowadays, I'm like, I be seeing children 12, 13, lashes and nails. I be like,
I don't like that.
You a little too wrong. You a little too with lace fronts or like I just be like, how old are you?
And I think that's what the problem is, because to me, I think I look my age. But when people say things to me, it's like, really? You're that age? I thought you were da-da-da. But I think that's because da-da-da is wearing all this extra stuff and looking my age.
Right.
That's my take on people thinking that I look younger. Like,
Right.
no, I think I look fine for my age. I don't think I look 10 years younger.
Right. I look how I'm supposed to look. I feel like also too, like when I was younger, I looked the age I was supposed to be. I don't think I gave the impression that I was older than I was. Right. Because we weren't wearing makeup like that or lashes or anything to enhance, to make it seem like we were older than what we were.
Well, there was one girl in my high school, she wore makeup and she used to curl her lashes every morning at the breakfast table. But aside from that, yeah, like it wasn't a thing that you had to be beat.
Right, it wasn't.
Meaning, like, because you know, if you're listening to this 10 years later, I mean, beat as far as like your face, your makeup. Yeah.
Like it was literally, I think,
lace fronts, all that stuff.
The biggest thing for us was getting our nails done.
Mm-hmm.
Or being peer pressured about
eyebrows.
Peer pressured about sex. Other than nails and sex, it was that's pretty much what it was then. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, you ain't had sex yet? You had sex? I mean, should I be sharing that with you? But yeah, it was nails and sex. That's a weird combination, but that's my answer.
Well, there was something else that I wanted to share about the aesthetics was. Okay, so when I got to my early 20s, like 23, 24, I remember there was a thing on Instagram. I wasn't really on Twitter much, but these women who would post saying, good for you, basically, to the girls who don't want to wear makeup every day. Uh-huh. You could be basic, like, boo to you being basic. And I was basic. Like, even now, like, I don't really like wearing makeup too much. It's the process of taking it off. But, like, if I got, like, a date, typically it was when I was having my first dates and stuff like that, I was like, oh, I will put my makeup on, feel girly. But now, like, I don't really care to, especially if I think about, like, we going out late, all right, I ain't gonna want to come back and tweak that off or whatever. But, like, if it's a special moment or, like, a really girly moment, I'll put on makeup. But back then, especially, for me, it was coloring in my eyebrows, because I ain't got none, and my lip gloss and maybe some mascara. To me, that was all that I needed. So I did start to feel a way when I'm seeing these posts, but I kept seeing it that same way or different types of way. Basically, people calling me basic. Like, is that not okay? Like, so am I not a woman, or am I not girly enough because I don't want to color my face every day? I don't want to put a filter on every day. Like, right. What are you saying? So that's one thing that in young adulthood that made me feel like, am I not a woman? Am I not woman enough? Like, what does it mean to be a baddie or a cutie or a woman. So, but now I'm okay. I don't care. Shoot, as long as my eyebrows colored in, my wig is on, I feel confident about myself. I'm okay.
Okay. Yeah. Bam.
Most times. Everybody else in the group has makeup on. I'm like, I'm just the only one. And I'm not gonna lie, like sometimes I'll be like, dang, I should put makeup on. But it's when I'm attentive, when I'm paying attention to it. Cause like sometimes the picture is like, or I don't know, whatever. I'm just like, I'm the eyeball out.
You when you put makeup on, you doing a full beat, half beat, quick.
That's me with clothes. Like, are you wearing a dress? Are you wearing shoes? Or are you wearing sneakers? Okay, like I'm more like I care about clothes opposed to makeup. Yeah.
What we doing? This a makeup situation?
Right. Let me see. Do we have any more questions? No.
We talk.
That's it. Thanks for tuning into our hot topic segment. And we did come across some things that we should write down so that we can have conversations with other people later about them. But I don't know. I think I will conclude that it's hard to define womanhood as a whole. Like there's different experiences that we've gone through. There's different things that this woman and that woman taught us. Like I really look forward to wearing lipstick, but now as an adult, I wear it here and there. Like I don't know. I think it's to each his own.
Right. It can be defined how you see it for yourself. I don't think womanhood can be defined as a whole for all women. It's like, what is womanhood to you? What makes you feel like a woman? When did you feel like you became a woman? Everybody's story is different.
Do you ever feel like you go in and out of feeling like a woman too? Like sometimes I be feeling like a little kid sometimes. I have so much fun. I mean, but then reality set in, I see that alert.
Right.
Your Billy's too, and I'm like, damn. I was growing up, I got work to
pay.
Right.
Sometimes, like, and I have moments where I'm like out and about, I'm having a good time, like I'm living my best life, and they're like, girl, you gotta work in the morning. Alarms. Moments like that, but yeah, to each his own. Define womanhood and what it means to you.
Yes. Ready for the next segment?
Let's do it.
Tell them what it is.
Dorm stories.
Okay.
Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario? In today's dorm story segment, we're going to be sharing 2 stories from women from 2 different websites about their experience of being womanhood, being a woman, what it feels like to be a woman, transitioning to be a woman. All those womanhood things we just discussed before.
Yes.
So yeah, I'm gonna read one. And I'll read another one.
Okay, so we have this one from Teen Vogue, Shadera Eguru. If I'm saying your name wrong, I apologize. The quote says, I first felt like a woman the day I moved into my own apartment for the first time at 24 years old. I spent my whole life living with my family, which came with a lot of limitations. But once I moved out, my life finally became entirely mine. I get to choose my own furniture. I get to wash my own plates when I want. I get to play music as loud as I prefer.
That's how I mean.
I get to be my whole entire self, which is why I didn't want you to read it because I was like, it sounds like Simone. To me, being a woman means tapping into a power that cannot ever be taken away from you. I learned what being a woman means the day I realized the world will never spin in my favor. And for that reason, I must always affirm to myself that I am powerful, I am worthy, and I am deserving of every sweet thing this world could offer. So, what resonates for me is the independency. And this is not the first time that I've heard a woman share that basically when you're living with your family, that kind of makes you feel like a child. Mm-hmm. And then once you move out and you can do things the way that you want to do them, then you feel like you're free. Like you can set your own limitations or not have any at all. You can do, come as you go, whatever. Like you don't have anybody to answer to at that time. And it makes me think of a certain person who moved out of their parents' house, was doing their own thing, and then came back to the parents' house just to visit. And while out and about, we were having the best time of our lives. Excuse me, legally grown.
Right.
The parent kept calling, "Where you at? When you gonna be home? Where you at? When you gonna be home?" And that person kept telling me, "See, this is why I like living by myself, because when I'm home, I don't have to go through this. But when I'm at this home, I feel like I'm having an answer to it. Makes me feel like a child. Like I can't. There's no freedom there."
Right.
And I've heard that from so many people, and I felt that way too. When I was at home, I had brothers that are 10 and 11 years younger than me. And while growing up with them, I was being treated like I was one of them.
Mm.
Age wise, I'm 21, 22. They're 16, like, younger. And my mom, when I would come back for Christmas breaks, or when I came back to live there after finishing up at CAU, I was treated just like them, and it was just such like a big shift for me, because I just came from college where I was leaving my dorm as I please, hanging out, doing whatever I wanted. It was just like so weird. Like, don't you know I'm grown now, mom? Like, why are you talking to me the way that you talk to them? And it was just like I could not stand it. I could not stand it. So I feel you, sis.
Yeah, as you was reading, I had to double check. I'm like, is this me? Because definitely when it comes to the music playing as loud as I prefer. Because hey, I love a good bump, 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 especially in the morning when I wake up.
Okay.
Get my day started.
Yep.
All right, so the second one that is being shared is from Queen's Journal. Being a woman might come with the unfortunate downside of gender based discrimination, made worse by intersections like race, class, and sexuality, but I wouldn't trade it for anything. Being a woman has allowed me to be a part of a beautiful lifelong community. I may have been teased, taunted, and harassed for doing nothing more than existing in this society as a woman. But I always know I can rely on other women to support me and protect me. Our universal negative experiences have brought us together, and I think that solidarity is a wonderful thing. To me, being a woman also means using my own privilege to support others. Black women, disabled women, and trans women who face even more barriers than I do. I love being a woman, and I love having the privilege to fight for my right to be a woman with full control over my body, future, and life.
I think that goes back to what I was sharing before, what it means to be a woman. I didn't break it down as much as this person did, but we are nurturers, we are caring, we help other people. This person put it as far as a community as a whole, the community of being a woman. Like when you see a woman in need, when you see the laws are changing to go against what our freedom is to be
Right.
a woman, the natural things to be a woman are, we stick together and we fight for what's right, or we support each other. So it's just that natural, innate thing to just care and be there for somebody else, especially if they don't have as much power because of whatever culture, different things that's going on.
Right. Yes, absolutely. And I love how the quote encompassed all types of women, and being able to use her privilege as a woman to help other women who may not be able to take the same advantages. I never thought of it as being like privileged to be a woman and help women in other circumstances, like disabled women and trans women and things of that nature. I was like, that's a very, very good point.
It is.
Because we usually hear about privilege, you hear about white privilege. I never thought about having privilege as a woman in order to be able to help other women.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, because then there is, okay, the male dominance, but then it's white man, black man, but then when it's race, it's white man, white woman, black man. Depends on, like it's reorganized in certain ways, but then there is the category of woman, and then different types of women too. Exactly. Like we're higher based off your salary or your ability to do things. So yeah, that's definitely a good point that was brought up from what you read.
Yes, absolutely. As women, we are a community, and we should be supporting each other as women, regardless of our stories behind our own womanhood.
What's the woman sign? This is Black Power.
It's the little circle with the body, I think. Like one is supposed
No,
to
I
be
mean like how you hold it up. Like put my fist up, put a little heart sign up. Like what's the Chuck the Goose? I don't know. Gang. Yes, women.
But yes, absolutely.
If you have anything that you want to share about what you think, like we said earlier, what it means to be a woman or experiences that you've gone through that let you realize that you were a woman, please drop that down in the comment section below.
Yes, please do, because we want to hear from you.
And we're gonna go on to our next segment, which is our community news. It's time for announcement. It's time for announcement.
It's time for announcements. It's time for announcements. She definitely stole my song from me and then didn't close it out.
I wanted to do that last time, but I was being nice. But this time,
it ended it too early.
Because I saw you like, oh, she trying to take my song.
You all trying to take my song. My song.
It's a nice jingle.
It is a nice jingle. My jingle. Anywho. So welcome to the community news segment. First and foremost, we're going to do it again, episode 15. We have our first announcement, which is the March question of the month. What does happiness mean to you? Go onto our Instagram page, find the post with the question of the month, comment underneath. Once we have our video up on YouTube, go to YouTube, comment underneath the video, and let us know what you think. What does happiness mean to you? We want to hear from you, okay? And then when we have answers, you gotta wait till we post the video. So, there you go.
Yes.
Question of the month.
Our next announcement is, if you like what you hear, or if you're watching, if you like what you see, make sure that you leave us a review. Let us know what you think of our podcast. If you watch our question of the month videos, if you follow us on Instagram, if you like our content, if you have any feedback, let us know. We want to know how we can be better, how we can answer some questions. Maybe you have some topics that you want to hear us talk about. Somebody posted on our Instagram saying that they would like us to talk about other Black businesses that are out there.
Oh,
we did wear some of their stuff on our question of the month last year.
Yeah, we would love
but maybe that's something that we can do during our announcement segment. If you share your stuff,
Right, we can definitely shout it out on the truth carpet. Send it our way. Also, please let us know if you know of any events for us to either, open mics, a little poetry, or something for us to vend at. We need more events for us to pop up at for the pop-ups, so y'all can get our merch in person. So if it's an open mic vendor type situation, even better. Kill two birds with one stone. Let's do it. Let us know. Or if it's when it starts to get a little warmer, invite us to the barbecue. I love barbecue.
Okay. All right. Thank you for listening to our 50th episode.
Girl, be careful. These phones, they don't go that far. You gotta be careful.
Thank you for tuning in.
I hope it's not messing up the sound.
Make sure that you're listening to us on Spotify. You can give us a rating too on Spotify.
Yes, please do. That will help us.
Can you give ratings on Apple Music? Apple Podcasts.
I'm not sure.
You can give us a rating. We would like to be rated.
Yes. Oh, and if you prefer to give us a verbal review instead of typing that thing on up, you can go ahead over to Anchor. Click the link in the bio if you're not already on Anchor. Leave us a message.
A voice recording.
Leave us a message and we could share it on the truth carpet. All right? We would love to hear from y'all.
Yes.
But until next time,
we'll be in your ears in 2 weeks. Stay Black.